talking. He wasn't with Hashem in the same Bet Knesset. He was with the Siddur, with the guys, with friends, with family. He was making mitzvot. But it wasn't to serve Hashem. To serve Hashem is to know that Hashem is with you and you feel Him, you can talk to Him. This is why Rav Shalom always saying, if you believe in Hashem, you talk to Hashem. If you're not talking to Hashem, it means you don't believe in Hashem. You can be religious, it doesn't mean that you believe in Hashem. He said, person that has got a kippah is a Baal kippah. He has a kippah. Person that has a beard is a Baal zakan. He's got a beard. But the person that's doing Teshuva is a Baal Teshuva. Only a person that is doing Teshuva, really, standing, stop his day, every day, and confess, and look at himself, deep inside, and looking if there is things that I'm doing wrong, and confessing, and accept the rebukes of Hashem Yitbarach from all life, from all the reality of. Allah gives us a lot of rebukes that we can't learn, that it's hard to learn, it's hard to daven, that we're talking a lot of nonsense, that we're damaging a lot of things with our eyes, with our thoughts. It's a bizayon. The person wants to do tshuva and he sees it's very far from it. He wants to serve Hashem. There's no connection between him and Hashem because he's got desires, lusts. He wants to chase after this world to achieve his illusions, his desires. And suddenly he stops, he's doing tshuva. He's looking at all of those things. It's amazing. It flips your mind. It changes you. When you feel that really HaKadosh Baruch Hu answer your prayers, and then you become committed to it. Because what you daven on something, and you see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing miracles to you. I remember one time, it was one of the strongest times that it's ever happened to me, that we were renting a house in Jerusalem, in Ramat Eshkol, Givat HaMivtar, and we had to pay every 3 months ahead. And it was something like 3,000 shekels 9 years ago, 8 years ago. It was the rent over there. And every 3 months we had to give 9,000 shekels to the Baal Bayit. And one time, one day before, tomorrow we're supposed to pay to the Baal Bayit, I didn't have nothing to pay. And I went to do hitbodedut in the forest close to Shmuel HaNavi, on the way after Ramot to Givat Ze'ev, in the forest of Shmuel HaNavi. And I done my hitbodedut, and while I was talking to Hashem, I told him, Hashem, listen, I know that I can call my mother and to ask for the money, and she's going to give me, but she won't be happy from that. Not that she doesn't want to help, but it's heavy. It's a family, and she doesn't need to take care of us every month, all of the time. It's hard, also for her. And I know that if I'm going to call her, she's going to give me the money, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to make her sorry. So please, send me the money. And I just said it really from the heart. And then I had a lot more things to talk about, and I was talking about them also. When I came home, in the evening, my father, that we had a very rough time between us in the relationship in that period of time, and he almost never came to visit. Today, Baruch Hashem, everything is wonderful, Bemet. But then it was very hard. It was the beginning of the Teshuva, and it was very rough. And he came to visit us. And he came and he told me he's a painter, and he told me that he saw a few pictures, and he gave me money, and he gave me an envelope, and I didn't even open it, I didn't even look at it, and just it was the fact that he came was so strong that I was in the hosting, to talk to him. I couldn't think about he gave me money, but he didn't give me amount like that ever. Not ever, but in that time, in those years, I didn't get that money from him. And after he went, we opened the envelope, and there was 10,000 shekels inside of it. And still it was hard for me to understand the miracle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done with me. And after a few minutes, I told my wife, look, we got the exact amount that we need. And then I realized that it's truth. All of the advice that you have in Avodat Hashem, in all of the holy books, from all of the tzaddikim, if you just have the courage to make them, you're going to see the results. It's a reality, it's happening. This is the real nature of this world. It's happening. You daven to Hashem, Abotach Hashem, Chesed Yesod Avenu. Grace is going to surround him. You're going to find the grace. You're going to find all of his Yeshuot. The thing that is happening is that we're not davening. The Yetzer Hara is stopping us from reaching Hashem, from coming to Hashem. And then, you don't have your Yeshuot. You're still dati, you're religious, you're making mitzvot, but you don't have a connection to Hashem Yitbarach. You don't have a relationship with Hashem Yitbarach. 2 days ago, I was in the yeshiva, and my wife called me, and she told me, you took the keys of the house and the car, yours and mine. So she was stuck in the house, she can't go. So I told her, all right, I'm coming to, I had a 15 minutes break between the shiur of the Gemara and the shiur of the Likutei Moharan. And I told her, all right, I'm coming to give you the key, I can't leave her like that. So she said, no, it's windy, it's cold, don't. I told her, no, listen, I have a ride, someone is bringing me to the house, it's okay. I wasn't with the car, just I had to run for maybe 10, 12 minutes every direction and then to go back. So it's half an hour, something like that. And it's a lot of effort also, Baruch Hashem. So I told her I'm coming. So she said, no, I'm not sure that I'm going to go out, but I felt that she wanted to go. So I told her, no, I'm coming. She said, no, it's windy, it's cold, don't come. I told her, no, there is someone that's going to take me, don't worry, I'm coming. So, and I was going down the stairs of the yeshiva. And then she told me, who is it that takes you? Who is going to take you? Well, I'm going to tell now. But there was someone close to me in the stairs that I didn't know him. So I was leaning on him. I told her, I don't know his name, and I'm thinking about that guy. I told her, I don't know his name, but he's taking me, don't worry. So she said, all right. And then I went out to the parking lot, and I was looking to the right side, to the left side, to where is my ride. And I was begging to Hashem, I told Hashem, I need to come back to the shiur, but I want to give her the keys. And then she called me, she said, no, don't come. I told her, I'm coming, don't worry, I'm coming. And we hang up the phone, and then I saw that guy coming outside to his car. And I asked him, are you going down to Shmuel HaNavi? He said, yes. I told him, can you take a ride with you? He said, yes. And then we went down, and then I told him, I'm gonna jump here. He said, where are you living? I said, in the left, you should turn left in Rabbi Yosef Karo. He said, all right, I'm going to take you. And he drove left, and he stopped close to my house. And I told him, thank you very much. He said, it's going to take you 1 minute. I told him, yes. He said, all right, I'm waiting for you. I'm going to take you back. and then you see that Hashem is helping you. You see, in one instance, it's not a coincidence. It's not a tziruf mikrim. You daven to Hashem Yitbarach. You ask him. I told them, I'm the shiur in 11:30. I came in time. I told them, you have to understand. You ask me for Hashem Yitbarach. Of course, it's the privilege of the tzibur. They're sitting. They want to learn Torah. It's the privilege of Rav Shalom. One time, Rav Shalom told one of the biggest rabbis that we have in the yeshiva, he told him, if you're going to forget that the siyata d'shmaya, the knowledge that you have, all of the things that you're doing, if you're going to forget that it's coming by my powers, you're going to lose it. You won't have it anymore. And it's so truth. It's so emet, because when you give me shiurim and you're teaching and you know who you are, you're looking inside, you know who you are, you remember your past, you know where you're coming from, you know your yetzer hara, all of your nonsense and your desires and things that you're working on them now. And somehow HaKadosh Baruch Hu is helping you to teach and to help other people with things that you still need to go to the garage with yourself to get your 10,000 kilometers people. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is helping you. And you're looking deep, where is it coming from? It's all coming from Rav. So everyone needs to see. This is why the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot starts. Moshe קיבל תורה מסיני, ומסרה ליהושע, ויהושע לזקנים, וזקנים לנביאים. So it's all tradition. When you understand that you're part of that chain, part of that tradition, you can pass the light to the next stage. But if not, if you think that you're something, your reality, you're important now, you become a rabbi. So it's we heard about one like that he done a big mistake in his life, and a lot of people fell down because of him also. It's a mistake. He could be a Tana. He could be a Tana. JC, he could be a Tana. He could be a Tana in the Gemara. He could be one of the biggest Tanaim in the Gemara Kedosha. In the Gemara from that time, she's calling him Yeshu. Yeshu is the name, the letters of the names Yimach Shmo Bezichro. This is Yeshu. Yeshu, it's not a name. It's the first letters from the three words Yimach Shmo Bezichro. This is Yeshu. And the Gemara from those days, she's calling him Yeshu. He was Yimach Shmo Bezichro before the Christianity started. Even in the days that he was a student, he was supposed to be a Tana. Even then, his name was Yimach Shmo Bezichro. They knew him, they saw the mistake was so huge. People today, it's hard to realize what was the mistake. But if you look deep inside, you see there was big mistakes. In the Gemara, it's all written. All of his mistakes, all of his nature was shown. They saw it, the Chachamim saw it. He had horrible mistakes. Why? Because he wanted to be someone. You wanted to change, you wanted to be important. It's a mistake. You're going to be important if you're going to be part of Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu, think about Moshe Rabbeinu. He was, of course, L'Havdil, he was the most important person in the world. He changed the world, Moshe Rabbeinu. And what he done all of his life, he was serving Am Yisrael. He was running for Am Yisrael, helping for Am Yisrael, fighting for Am Yisrael, suffering for Am Yisrael, crying for Am Yisrael, davening for Am Yisrael. Convince Hashem Yitbarach for Am Yisrael, talking to Paro, doing things that wasn't his nature at all. He told the Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's not me. How do you want me to go, to talk, to speech? It's happy. I can't do it. But when he sees the Kadosh Baruch Hu's will, no, you're going to do it, he's running. Why? Because Am Yisrael, they are important. Why they're important? Because they're the sons of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So he sees, he is important, they are important, there is an important message to connect between them. This is the Torah Kedosha, and this is it. And who am I? I'm nothing. So I'm running. And who you become? You become to be the person that saved the world, that gave the wisdom of all wisdoms to this world, to earth. All of the good things that there is in all of the cultures are coming from the Torah Kedosha. In all of the religious, in all of the cultures, all of the nations, everything is coming from the Torah Kedosha, Torah Moshe. So if you understand that you just need to do your part, to be who the HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent you to be, so be. And then you're creating things, amazing things, because actually every Jew is a neshama elokit. The person is a neshama elokit. What it means, neshama elokit? It's like a glass of water that you take that water from the sea. So the neshama, it's a part of it's a soul from the sea of souls that there is in heaven. And if you're going to check that glass of water, it's got the nature of the sea. Everything that you can find in the sea, you can find in that glass. And in the neshama, it's endless. And if you have only one glass of that water, from the sea of souls inside of you, so you have a part inside of you that it's endless. If you're going to put now a Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, in a small place, chas v'shalom, in a box, put a Kadosh Baruch Hu, chas v'shalom, in a book, it's endless. It becomes to be endless. You can find everything inside of it. It's got endless power. You can do everything with it. Why? Because it's Hashem. So if you have Hashem inside of you, and you open the doors for it to illuminate it, so it's endless. You can do everything. Moshe Rabbeinu is climbing to Mount Sinai for 40 days. He's not eating, not drinking, nothing. Just standing and davening and praying and crying. And he doesn't think about his body at all, so he doesn't need a body. The body is serving him. But us, that we're confused, so our attention, tzumet halev, is to nonsense. So all of those things are controlling our life. So we become slave to your things. You become slave to your car, to your arrogance, to your kavod, to your honor, to your nonsense. And you're working for all of the desires, for the lusts that you have. But if you start working on that, to see Hashem, to look at Hashem, to understand the language that Hashem is talking to you, all of the time He's talking. This is Hashem's nature. He's talking. We only heard things from Him. He's talking. All of the time He's talking. If we have the privilege, we have a Navi, we have a prophet that's gonna talk to us. But if we don't have the privilege, so still, David HaMelech said, Mi besari echazeh Eloka. From my flesh I can see Hashem Yitbarach. You can look at your life, on everything, and you're going to see Hashem. Hashem is talking to you. Hashem is sending people to you with message, with hints, with ideas, with support, with parnasai, everything. You're getting your parnasai. You need to remember that Hashem is giving you the parnasai. And why does Hashem bond the parnasai with work? And why does Hashem bond the chiyut, the life, with food? And Yeshuva to be relaxed, is giving it with sleep. Only after you're sleeping, you feel awake. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waking your soul. Everyone could see situation in his life that he was awake for 2 days and he was totally fresh and awake. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him powers. So it's in the hands of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sometimes you can eat and you not become satisfied. You can't find life inside of that food. And sometimes you're eating something small and you have life, and sometimes you don't need it. So life is coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everything. Wisdom is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not from the Torah. By the Torah. But not from the Torah. From HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu bond to us all of those things to something from this world? The parnasah, to work, the healing, to the doctors, the cure, to the medicine. Why? To give us the free choice. That you're going to have a free choice to choose if you believe in Hashem or you believe in the messenger in this world. And this is our test in this life. If to believe in Hashem or not. Because after 120 years, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He won't going to ask us questions about how much did we learn and how much money we made, and He's going to ask. First question is going to be like we learned, if a person is trading with faith, and actually it means if you believed in Hashem Yitbarach, you can't do nothing with faith unless you believe in Hashem. So it's a result of faith. So in the end, actually, Rav Shalom said once that the main thing that the person the first witness that the person is going to have in his trial is going to be his wife. And for a woman, for sure, her husband. Why? Because the main subject of trial was if you were human, if you were a good person, if you were nice, if you were kind, Those are the most important things in life. And if you miss that, if your best girlfriend, if your wife, she's saying that she's got a lot of complaints about you, so you lost it. But if she's saying, no, he helped me, he was a good friend, he tried to do wonderful things, we were trying together, it was hard. I'm not saying it was easy, it was hard, but he tried. I can count on him, I respect him, I know that he had good meanings, and if she is saying good things, so all of the trial looks totally different. Totally different. And this is what we need to work on, to be human beings, to remember Hashem Yitbarach, always. To remember Hashem, to go with Hashem Yitbarach, to every place. We're going to read from that book, don't worry. The holy book, Likutei Moharan. It's written in Masechet Chagiga that it was Rabbi Yochanan. That Rabbi Yochanan, when he read that verse, he was crying. That it's written that the brothers of Yosef, when Yosef, it was Rabbi Yochanan, remember? I think it was Rabbi Yochanan. That when the brothers of Yosef, they saw him, and then he told them, Ani Yosef, I'm Yosef, so they were scared from him, and they couldn't talk. They were amazed by that rebuke, because then they understood that it was Yosef from the beginning, from their entrance to Egypt. They stopped them in the gate, and they asked them questions, and then the money that Yosef put back in their sack, in their saddles, and everything that happened with the Gavia, with the cup of Binyamin, and then they understood that all of those things was Yosef, and they were shocked by his power, how huge Yosef is. He controls everything. He's the king of Egypt. He's huge. And Rabbi Yochanan over there, he said, a rebuke of a human being is so strong that you don't have powers to deal with it. You become mute because of that. So what's going to be in the world to come, in Judgment Day, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying to you, Ani Hashem. So in the world to come, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling you, Ani Hashem. It wasn't your wife, it was me. It wasn't your bank, it was me. It wasn't your boss, it was me. It wasn't the police officer, it was me. It wasn't your sons, your kids, it was me. It wasn't the doctor, it was me. Everything, Ani Hashem, it's me. En od milvado. There is nothing except of Hashem Yitbarach. It's 100%. After David HaMelech said, En od milvado, we can't change it anymore. This is it. It's a closed deal. It's 100%. So, you have to understand that we have a Siyata Dishmaya also now. Why? Because in the Torah that I put that in it, it's Torah Yud Zayin in Likutei Moharan, and Rabbeinu is saying, and I didn't plan it, Vayihem Merikim Sakehem, they were taking out all of the things that they had in their sacks, Vehine Ish Tzror Kaspo Besako, and they found the money back in their bags. Vayir'u et tzorot kaspehem, and they saw the money. Hema va'avihem, their money and the money that the father sent with them, Yaakov Avinu. Vayir'al, and they were afraid. Vayomer lehem Yaakov, and Yaakov Avinu told them, Avihem, Oti shikaltem, Yosef eneno, Yosef is not with us anymore. V'Shimon eneno, and also the Shimon stayed in Egypt in prison with Yosef. Ve'et Binyamin tikachu, and you want now to take Binyamin also. Alai hayu kulana. All of them, I'm the only one that is suffering. I'm the father. I'm the one that is suffering because all of them, you're taking those three. It's on me. All of the sadness and the suffer is on me, on Yaakov Avinu. So Rabbeinu start to explain. We're not going to finish the Torah, but we're going to start with Hashem. כי יראה ואהבה, to have יראת שמיים, to fear from Hashem יתברך, ואהבה, and also to love Hashem יתברך, אי אפשר לקבל, you can't have it, כי אם על ידי צדיקי הדור. You can have it only by the tzaddikim of the righteous people of the generation. You can't have Yirat Shamayim unless the tzaddik decide that you're going to have Yirat Shamayim. A person can't decide, no, I'm going to have Yirat Shamayim from now on. No way. You can't rule your life. You don't have no powers. Only if HaKadosh Baruch Hu decide to put mercy in the heart of one of the tzaddikim, you're going to wake up. One time I was driving with Rav Shalom in his car, and we were talking about my Teshuva, and he told me, I pulled you to this yeshiva with my prayers, and you fell down inside a jar of honey, into tzimtzenet dvash. I pulled you with my tefillot, and the tzaddikim are davening on a person, so they're pulling him. How did you woke up? How did I woke up? I didn't do nothing that could save me from the darkness that I was living in. And suddenly I started to realize that there is Hashem, to think about Hashem. So how did it happen? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He's got His messengers, those are the tzaddikim, that are serving Him day and night with Mesirut Nefesh. And they have the privilege to pass the light of Hashem Barach to His kids. Like it's written, Melech Asur Barahatim. It's written that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a prisoner in His Rehatim, to us. He's captured in our jail. With what? With His Rehatim. What it means? So Rabbeinu explained that Rehatim, those are Rehitei HaMochim. It's the edges of the thoughts, of the brain of the person. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the permission to the tzaddikim to tie him and us through the edges of our thoughts. He gave them the permission to connect between Am Yisrael to Him. Actually, we not deserve to see Hashem, to know Hashem at all. We don't have that privilege. We're not pure enough to see Him, to believe in Him. Actually, it's days of Hastara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is supposed to hide His face from us, to cover Himself from us, because of all of the averot and the sins and everything. But He gives the permission to the tzaddikim to bond and to tie Am Yisrael to Him, even though that they're not worthy. So the tzaddikim, they're going down to our places, they're holding the rope in one hand, and they're going down, snapping, how you say, snapping, to our places. They're going down to our places. And they're saving us, and they're tying Hashem Yitbarach to our thoughts. Somehow, even that our thoughts are wandering in nonsense and thinking about desires and running after honor, running after money, after the shtuyot, still HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us. How can it be? Only by the power of the tzaddikim. Only the soul of the tzaddikim.
What if you're not connected to the tzaddik?
What?
How do you know if you're connected to the tzaddik?
You don't need to be connected by your side because you can't. One time, it only depends on the tzaddik. The tzaddik, he sees something good in a person, so he is taking that and he bonds him by that. And one time, Rabbi Natan and Rabbi Naftali, they were the biggest students of Rabbi Nachman Breslev. They saw him playing chess with epikosim, with Jews that were very, very far from Judaism. And he was playing chess with them. And they were amazed, Rabbi Natan and Rabbi Naftali, because they were students of Rabbeinu. They knew that Rabbeinu is holy, is a kadosh, he always only inside of the Torah Kedosha, in Tefillah, so what's going on? Playing chess with them. So, after they went, those epikosim, they went to Rabbi Natan and Rabbi Naftali, went to Rabbeinu, and they asked him, what is your connection with them? Why are you talking to them? There's something between you and them. So Rabbeinu answered to them, and what is the connection that you have with me? That you are like a feather on my kittel. You're like a feather on my kittel. And if I'm blowing it away, it can't hold herself on my kitel, on my jacket. So even the biggest tzaddikim, Rabbi Natan, Rabbi Naftali, day and night, Mesirut Nefesh, running after Rabbeinu, it's only because, really, only because that the tzaddik decide that they're going to be born to him. One time, Rabbeinu told Rabbi Natan, I put you in my sack. So Rabbi Natan told him, tie it strong, that they won't run away. Because the tzaddik can take you and to bring you inside. There was one guy that came to Rabbeinu for years and years. He was very bound to Rabbeinu. He loved Rabbeinu. He was davening to Rabbeinu. And he had a disaster in his house. One time, he went to Uman, to the tziyun of Rabbeinu, and he was cursing Rabbeinu in the tziyun. And he was cutting his peot on the tziyun. And he was cursing Rabbeinu, and he went from the tziyun. Horrible story. We have that nature inside of us, the Yetzer Hara, the Ga'ava, the anger, all of the bad midot. If you have it by force inside, even that you're not by, how you say, by power, it's an option, it's
choice.
You have it inside, standing, even if you're not in potential, you have it inside in potential, even if you're not angry, even if you're not cursing. If inside you have it, that it can wake up once in a month, once in a year, something like that, very far, once in 10 years, you can curse your rabbi also, you can curse Hashem. If he's going to push you to the edge, if he's going to push you to the corner, you can curse him also. This is why we need to work on our midot. Now that everything's okay, now we need to be afraid, now we need to be terrified, not chas shalom, to get this situation that all of our nature, the bad midot, they're sleeping now. They're going to blow up, chas shalom. We need to work now, when we have the time, when we have the power to deal with it. So actually, the person can only pray. I know one of Reb from our yeshiva, that he was, and there is a lot of stories like that, he was 14 years in the yeshiva, more even than 14 years in the yeshiva. And one day he decided to go from the yeshiva. And after 1 year he took off his peot, and after 1 year also, a few months of also his beard. Last woman he told me, it's a miracle that I'm here. He told me it's a miracle, a person that has Mesirut Nefesh, real Mesirut Nefesh for Avodat Hashem. But it's written, Ta'azvenu Yom, Ya'azveka Yomai. If you're living in the Torah Kedusha, if you're not chasing after the Kedusha won't chase after you. We're not so important that the Kedusha are going to chase after us. So the only thing that's going to protect you, it's your prayers. If a person is davening on his tikkun, he's asking for Hashem Yitbarach to help him, to give him siyata d'ishmaya, to save him, to create a connection between him, to tzaddikim, to people that are here, Hashem, to live in a holy place, to live in a good environment. If he's davening on those things, he's gonna stay. But if he feels that he bought a house, now everything is for sure, now there's no insurance. There's no insurance in those things. Nothing. Even to the biggest tzaddikim, Elisha Acher, he was a Tana in the Gemara. He was a Tana. And he had a test, and he failed that test, and this is it. You can fail. Everyone can fail. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can put you in a situation that you're going to have to deal with your midot. If you have anger, if you have atzvut, depression inside of you, it's going to reveal. So you need to work on your simcha, you need to work on your faith. This is the only insurance that we have, is if we're putting effort in tefillot, in asking, in hitbodedut, to learn more Torah, to understand that it's a miracle that we are already here. In this stage, it's a miracle, totally miracle. How can it be? How can it be that the person that God desires, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to help him, going to have siyata d'ishmaya when God desires? Rashi is saying, I don't know where, I'm sorry to say that I don't know where, but Rashi in the Gemara is saying that when a person is breaking God's will, to over al retzono shel Hashem, min ha'ra'ui sheyamut. The thing that's supposed to happen to him is that he's going to die. This is midat ha'emet. This is the truth. There is Hashem Yitbarach ba'olam. Hashem is huge. He's huge. He In Hebrew you say Norah. Norah, he is terrified to look at Hashem Yitbarach. Who can stand his Kedusha? You can. But now suddenly you see Hashem is with you. How can it be? The tzaddikim, they made out of fire. In the end of Masechet Chagiga, it's written, the tzaddikim, they are made out of fire. And you can stand close to the tzaddik, you can hold his hand, and you're not getting burned. Avraham Avinu was standing inside the fire. People, they had a lot of nisyonot. In the Holocaust, people were sitting in the train for 17 days without water, without food. 17 days. How can a person survive 17 days without drinking a sip of water, a little drop of water? No one can survive. But when Hashem wants them to survive, 70 or so people went down from the train. And few of them reached Eretz Israel and had families. And how? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides. It's all in the hands of Hashem Yitbarach. A person can die in the middle of his meal, and another person can live for 70 days without a drop of water. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is bonding the soul to the body, and it's all by His decisions. It's all in the hands of Hashem. So if you're counting on yourself, so you're going to wake up one day. It won't be so pleasant, it won't be so nice, but you're going to wake up. But if you trust Hashem, you ask everything from Hashem, so you have someone to count on. Hashem. If you're counting on Hashem, grace is going to surround you and help you. So, Ki HaTzadik, because the Tzadik, Mevakesh, he is asking, Umechapes, and he's looking for, Tamid, always, Legalot HaRetzonot Shel Hashem Yitbarach. He wants to understand, to find the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all of the time. He is asking himself, what does Hashem want from me now? Why did Hashem put those chairs here? What is the will of Hashem in those chairs and in those empty chairs? What does Hashem want to tell me in those things? What Hashem wants to tell me with that lamp, with that cup, or glass of water? Everything, the tzaddikim, this is what they're doing. Every place they're looking at, they're looking what Hashem wants. What Hashem is telling me. This is the most important thing for them. One time, someone asked Rabbi Nachman about his grandmother, Odel, that she was the daughter of a Baal Shem Tov. So someone asked him, what was so special in Marat Odel? In Odel, that Baal Shem Tov was honoring her, and her brothers were honoring her very much. She was very strong. So he said, Rabbi Nachman said, she was always looking for what Hashem wants from her. All of the time she was asking Hashem, what can I do for you now? What can I do for you now? This is their goal, the tzaddikim. It's a simple thing to realize that people that they are not tzaddikim, they're looking after their desires. And someone that is a tzaddik, he doesn't care about himself. He's looking what Hashem wants from him. So the tzaddikim, they have such a mesirut nefesh on that. They don't look at themselves at all, bichlal. One time I came to the Rav's house, Rav Shalom's house. It was Motzei Shabbat. I think it was 11 or 11:30 at night. And I had to talk to him. I didn't have a choice. And I knocked at his door. And he said yes. I opened it quietly. And I saw him lying on the couch at the living room. And I told him, Rav, I'm sorry that I'm bothering you so late. So he said, leave the nonsense away. Don't talk nonsense. For long years I forgot myself. I forgot myself long years ago, a lot of years ago. He doesn't think about himself. If you knock on the door, you open, I'm here for you. What do you need? Everything. He doesn't think about himself at all. He doesn't care about himself. I remember one time in the beginning of my yeshiva, when I came to the yeshiva, I asked a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions, Baruch Hashem. I dropped few of them, Baruch Hashem. So one time I asked one of the avrechim from the yeshiva about donations, about the Horaot Keva. The people are bringing money to the yeshiva, and the yeshiva give them the share, maskoret, their share of, you're going to have percentage, part of the parnasa, and the rest is going to the mosdot, to the yeshiva. So I asked that guy, that Avrech, I asked him, does Harav get part of that money also? I had that kfirah. It was a question of mine. It's a kfirah. Are you looking at your rabbi's pocket? You don't need to look at your rabbi's pocket. But 9 years ago, Baruch Hashem, I had that question in my head. And I asked him, Harav is enjoying that money also? So he told me, and if Harav enjoy that money, so what do you think that he's doing with that money? He's buying bread, he's buying milk, I don't know what. He's buying his needs, and he doesn't eat the money. He himself, he is the mosdot. The Rav, he is the one that is creating all of the mosdot. So if he's paying his, I don't know what, mortgage with that money, that mortgage pays for the mosdot. This is the mosdot. One time in Yeshua, he said to us, you didn't reach the level of Am Yisrael when Mashiach gonna come, that everyone gonna have 2,000 and something, I don't know, I don't remember how many slaves. Every Jew gonna have 2,000 and something slaves. So he said, you didn't reach that amount yet, but you have 8, 9 slaves for sure. Me and my wife and our kids, and they're working for us. Like we talked about Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the slave of Am Yisrael. He was the slave of Am Yisrael. He was running for Am Yisrael day and night. Not eat, don't drink, not with his family, not with his wife, nothing. Just taking care of things all of the time. Running and fixing and convincing and talking and fighting and against the enemies from outside, from inside. And with Hashem Yitbarach, going and doesn't eat, doesn't drink, doesn't sleep, nothing. This is a real tzaddik. We have a lot to work. This is why I told you in the beginning of the shiur, I said, "Oi, when are we going to do tshuva? When I'm going to do tshuva? We need to look for our tshuva. We need to do tshuva one day, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem." So, ki tzaddik, because the tzaddik mevakesh, he is asking, umechapes, and looking for always to see the will of Hashem Yitbarach. Ki yesh bechol davar retzon Hashem Yitbarach. Because in everything there is the will of Hashem Yitbarach. Hashem wanted this chair to be black. He wanted it to be, the leg is going to be from iron. Everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted it. So the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is inside of everything. En bichlal habriya, generally in all of the creation, the Hashem Yitbarach, the thing that Hashem Yitbarach Ratza livro et ha'olam bichlal, wanted to create the world at all, just he wanted to create, so his will is inside of the creation. V'chen b'fratei habriya, and also in all of the details, all of the small things that there is inside of the creation, in all of them covered the will of Hashem Yitbarach inside. Bechol davar v'davar bifrat. In everything specifically. Yesh ratzon Hashem Yitbarach. There is the will of Hashem Yitbarach. V'atzadik. And the tzadik. Mechapes u'mevakesh tamid. He is looking always achar elu haratzonot, after the will of Hashem Yitbarach. This is his goal. This is his task. He is looking what Hashem wants in every situation. La'asig v'leidar ratzon Hashem Yitbarach bechol davar. To know what Hashem Yitbarach wants from us in everything. And a person can't reach that high level of strong will to look for Hashem Yitbarach unless he's working on it. Because if a person, he just understands, alright, this is the tzaddikim, and I don't have no connection with it. Maybe once in a while I can think also what Hashem wants from me, why did Hashem created that situation or something. So you observe once in a while, but actually to look what Hashem wants in every situation, in every detail, is something very, very deep, very hard. So it's called V'yadata hayom v'ashevota el levavecha. A person, now you learn something, you know it today, V'yadata hayom, but you need to make another thing that calls v'ashevota el levavecha. You have to bring it back into your heart. And how you're going to make it? Your heart is full of desires. Our hearts are full of desires and nonsense and things that we're busy with. You have will, you have things you're in mind. So there's no place in our heart that's going to be empty enough and clean enough to accept the will to look after Hashem Yitbarach. So we need to clean our hearts. The only way to do that is by, it's called hitbodedut, only by davening to Hashem Yitbarach. Because if a person knows something, so it stays in his mind, but he forgets it. But if you're saying something all of the time and you're working on it and you're pulling it back into your heart, then it's gonna stay. If you love someone, you love him with your heart. If you just know that there is someone that you like, so you know it with your mind. But if you have a good relationship with him, so he's in your heart. You put him inside your heart. So it means that everything that you understand that it's important in Avodat Hashem, it's not enough to understand it, to learn it. You have to learn it again and again and again and to pull it inside to your heart. And the only way to pull the information from our minds to our hearts, it's by tefillah. Because if a person decides, alright, from today on, I'm going to wake up every morning 4 a.m. to daven netz. Alright, you can decide, but maybe even tomorrow morning you're not going to wake up. Your decision, it's not so strong that you're going to change your life because of your decision. Your body is also strong, your tiredness is also strong, things that you have in your life, they're also strong, so you can decide. So the only thing that you can do is to work on it, is to try every day to wake up a little bit earlier or to go to sleep a little bit earlier or something like that. And then by the effort that you're doing every day, that you're putting effort every day, in the end you're going to reach that level that you're after, that you're trying to achieve. And the thing that are supposed to get inside to our hearts, it's something that we need to work, spiritual work. So it's not a result of a decision that we're going to make in physical terms. It has to be something spiritual. You have to put it inside your heart in a spiritual way. So the only way to do that is by cleaning your heart from the things that are stopping you from having yirat shamayim and love to Hashem Yitbarach inside your heart, and to pull the new knowledge of yirat shamayim, of kedusha, the goodwill that you found, that you reached, that you learned about, and to pull it back into your heart. And it can happen only by tefillah, only by hitbodedut, that the person is stopping his life every day and creating the situation of mari de chushbana. He's creating to himself a window in the 24 hours, a window that in that place he is standing and cleaning his heart. He's taking out all of the nonsense that he's got inside of his heart, all of the things that occupied his thoughts and his feelings, and he's taking them out. And he's talking to Hashem Yitbarach about everything. He's confessing. He's telling Hashem Yitbarach, I have fears, I have desires, I have sadness, I have things that stops me from having yirat shamayim, from thinking about you. I'm afraid what's going to be with my parnasa, what's going to be with my shlom bayit, what's going to be with my kids. So I need to take it away from my heart, because now that I have to think, when it occupies your heart, when your heart is busy with all of those things, you can't learn. Who can open a book when he's suffering from parnasa, when he's suffering from shlom bayit, chas shalom? Who can open a book? Who can think about Hashem Yitbarach? So first of all, you need to take out from your heart everything, and it can happen only by tefillah, like that it's written, shifchi kamayim libech nochach pnei Hashem, to pour all of the things that you have inside your heart with the diburim, with the tefillah, in front of Hashem Yitbarach, nochach pnei Hashem, to believe that Hashem is listening to you. This is mitzvah midoraita. It's mitzvah midoraita of the Teshuva, mitzvah of tefillah. It's to talk to Hashem Yitbarach with your language, with your speech, with your diburim that you have. This is mitzvah midoraita. All of the shacharit, mincha, arvit, chatzot, birkot hashachar, birkot haTorah, all of them, it's the Rabbanan. All of the davening that we're davening, it's all the Rabbanan. The only mitzvah tefillah midoraita from the Torah Kedosha, it's to talk. Just to talk. It sounds a little bit weird for people that never done that in their life, but when you're starting, you can't stop it, because you understand that Hashem is with you. You have every day 1 hour therapy. It doesn't cost nothing, and you're coming out after therapy happy. You don't need to cry on the way home, and the therapist, he loves you also, and you can do it in every time that you like. You don't need to have an appointment with him. You can come, just talk to Hashem. And when you start taking out the diburim, the things that are sitting on your heart, you're creating an empty space inside of your heart. This is what David HaMelech said, Libi halal bekirbi. The heart becomes space. And in that space, in that place, you can create. Like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create the world, he was, in the beginning, it was all Ein Sof. All the space, all of the thing that there was exist, it was endless. Only an endless light was covering everything. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu found a spot in the middle, somewhere in the middle of Ein Sof, and he took himself to the sides. He vacuumed himself from that point, and he created an empty space. This is the halal. This is the space that we know. And into that empty place, he sent a beam of light inside to the center, and started to create the world. The Gemara explained that very good also in Masechet Ta'anit, that we learned that one part took another part on it, and another part, and all of the creation started from the center. It calls Even Hashtiyah. Even Shtiyah, that we're all familiar with, it's the stone that there is inside in Har Habayit.